Hello, Algebra 2 parents. This is Mrs. Weber, and I wanted to first off apologize that I cannot be at back to school night tonight. So I made you guys a video with a little bit about me and a little bit about the class Algebra 2. So first of all, this is my family, and I grew up in Colorado. I went to Columbine High School, graduated in 2000, and then I attended Baylor University in Waco, Texas. After that, I majored in secondary education mathematics. I also played lacrosse while I was there, and I coached the team. It was just a club team my last year there. Then I came back to Colorado and I started teaching at Columbine High School. I taught there for 8 years, and I also coached girls lacrosse and cross country. And then I really wanted the Saxon curriculum because I knew that Devlin was so successful with this math program. So we piloted the Saxon curriculum at Columbine. We actually fundraised a bunch of money and we really tried to get the books, but the district said that we could not use the Saxon curriculum. And that really frustrated me since I knew Devlin was doing so well. So I happened to see there were jobs available and I applied, and I'm so happy I did. This is now my 7th year at this school, and I love it. We have a great community here. I love the kids, and I love the math program that we do. So the students here just remember their basic math, and so they're quicker at it, and they really just are successful. So for what your students need for my class, they do need their textbook, which should be covered. We're going to do a book check on Monday, so make sure they have their textbook covered. And then a pencil, obviously, a highlighter for grading homework. They need dry erase markers. We do whiteboards every single day. And they also need sticky notes for test corrections and a spiral notebook for class notes. So for what a typical day looks like in Algebra 2, they should come in with all their homework done, and then also with the odds checked and highlighted if they're correct. Um, so hopefully they do that ahead of time. And then we grade the set, they turn it in. So this is different from Algebra 1. I know that most Algebra 1 teachers let the students do corrections in class. I actually found that students were taking so much time correcting their past set, they weren't starting on their homework for tonight, and I think that was really overwhelming for a lot of students. So since Saxon spirals so much anyways, I would rather students just start on the next set and ask questions on some of those same problems they know they've been struggling with. When I started doing that, I actually found students were more successful on their tests. So that's what most of the Algebra 2 team does. So then I collect it and then I teach the lesson, which is usually 10 or 15 minutes. And then we do whiteboards, which I just check to make sure they understood the lesson. And I'm usually able to find errors quickly. So if they're not getting something, I can quickly fix it and hopefully reinforce positive work and what they're doing. And then after that, the students can work on their homework. So they usually have about 25 minutes in my class to do homework. And hopefully they get about halfway done with their set. I also check 2 problems in class, 2 of the even problems, so ones they don't have the answers to. And usually I check ones that I know they've been struggling on. So they should have all the odds from the back of the book, as long as they understood how to do them. They'll have the correct answers. And then they should have 2 more correct if they were in class that I stamped and checked. So for how I grade the homework, um, they are graded for correctness on this scale. So if they miss 1 or less, they get a 10. And if they miss 2 to 4, they get a 9. And 5 to 7 is an 8. And 8 to 10 is a 7. Where students really lose points is if they skip problems or if they grade incorrectly. So if they skip a problem, if they leave something blank, it's an extra 10% off their grade. So I really recommend students try every problem. If they don't know how to do something, they can go back and look in the book or watch one of my videos. But at least if they start the problem, they won't get extra work off. And then if they grade incorrectly, this is common when kids forget to grade the odds and they just go through and highlight every single odd really quickly. So if your students have had any low sets, it's probably from grading incorrectly. So they should just probably write on their set that they didn't check the odds, and that might be less points off. And then also, if they have a correct answer, but they still have incorrect work, that's 10% off. So some students will have the answer from the back of the book. They couldn't really figure out how to get it right, but they still mark it right. So the students know they're supposed to mark those wrong, so they don't lose any extra points. Also, no credit will be given for assignments that are not turned in on time unless they have a late pass. And so they do get 4 late passes per semester. And there's no bonus points for not using the late passes. So if they do need them, if they have like something going on in the evening and they just can't get their set done that night, I do recommend they use those late passes and take advantage of that. After they run out of late passes, they should still turn their homework in even for a 0. They get 1 week to turn in late assignments. So this is where you might want to kind of stay on top of your students. If you see they have a missing in the grade book, just make sure they get that assignment turned in within a week, even if it's for a 0. That way, at the end of the semester, if they have no missing assignments in any of the Algebra 2 classes, their lowest test score will be dropped, which usually raises their grade a few percentage points. So if students are absent, I recommend they watch the video on my website, or if they just need to review a concept before a test, I recommend they look over any concepts that they need extra help on. So if you go to Devlin's homepage and then staff and then my page, and then Algebra 2, and then video lessons, there's just a list of all the lessons. So maybe they want to review this one. They click on it and it's about 8 minutes. So it's a good review for the students. Also, there is a Google Calendar so you can see when tests are coming and what problems that we're going to be on, or if students are absent. There's also lesson notes online, although I think students should watch the video over just copying down the notes. The syllabus is also online, so if you guys want to go through and read the syllabus, you're welcome to. And if any of you have younger students in Algebra 1 or pre-algebra, I also have the video lessons for those online as well. So just a reminder, I am here to help. Algebra 2 is a tough class. It can be for some students. This is also the breaking point where next year they either go to Advanced Algebra 3 or regular Algebra 3. So students need to have an A at the end of second semester or a high B to go on the advanced track. So if your student is looking to do that and they're kind of borderline, just make sure they're coming in for help regularly. Or if your student is struggling and on that verge of getting a D, I don't want students to have to do summer school, so have them come in regularly to get help. You can also set your student up with a peer tutor, which can be a really good resource at this level. There are some great peer tutors. So if you know your student is going to be struggling, you might want to email me and see if we can get that set up even first semester. So this is my contact information. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. And I look forward to meeting you all at conferences. Have a good night. Thank you.